Hey guys, welcome back to NASCAR Fantasy Fastlane. We're doing things a little bit differently this week. We've got Steve Letarte in the NBC Sports headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. So Steve, when you look at last week in Kentucky, we saw Martin Truex Jr. get the win. He's certainly strong at New Hampshire along with Kyle Busch. So when you look at the big three, what are you looking at for this weekend? Well,
Jessica, it's got to that point in the season where usages are an issue. So the big three, while they're always a safe bet to start, I won't have all three drivers in my lineup this weekend. I'm avoiding Kevin Harvick. Not because I think he's going to run bad at New Hampshire, but I think there are tracks later on this summer he'll be better at. So the driver I'm looking at being the cornerstone of my starting lineup is Kyle Busch. When you look at his New Hampshire's numbers, they're outstanding. He's driving Joe Gibbs Racing equipment, which, oh, by the way, has won 5 of the last 6. So Kyle Busch is definitely in my lineup, and I'm going to have to see how practice goes. I expect Martin Truex to run well, but I don't know if I want to burn another use. With his domination in a 1.5 mile track just last week, I'm thinking maybe Indianapolis, Pocono, Michigan, some of the faster tracks later this summer is where I'm going to use Martin Truex Jr.
Well, you addressed those usages, and we know that those usages are more and more important. So let's get a few more of your picks. We'll go into Hot Lap. You know, New Hampshire's about 30 seconds, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds if you give me some of the guys you're playing and then also some of the guys you're avoiding this week.
Well, I'm going to give you basically 3 categories, and it starts with my starting drivers. The drivers I will have in my starting lineup, where they're going to be Joe Gibbs Racing teammates Denny Hamlin and Daniel Suarez. When you look at Daniel Suarez, he was top 10 in both races last year in his rookie year, and he ran 8th at Phoenix, another 1-mile racetrack, so he's in my starting lineup, as well as Denny Hamlin, the Joe Gibbs Racing driver. He won this race last year. He's a 3-time New Hampshire winner. He was 4th at Phoenix, 3rd at Richmond. He knows how to run well at the short track, the 1-mile flat track, so both of those drivers are in my starting lineups. Now, 2 drivers to avoid. William Byron. Very simply, New Hampshire is tough at restarts and even tougher on rookies. I think William Byron's going to need a little more time before I have him in at the Magic Mile. And also Matt Kenseth. While his numbers at New Hampshire look great, you have to remember all of those numbers were in Joe Gibbs Racing equipment. So I don't expect him to run as good now that he's back in a Roush Fenway car. But to give you a little more thought on who you could play, how about 2 drivers that could go in your garage? Clint Bowyer and Jimmie Johnson. Clint Bowyer has 2 wins, but his last win was back in 2010. Let's see how he runs this weekend. If it goes back to his old form, he might be a good garage pick, as well as Jimmie Johnson, the 7-time champ, the 3-time New Hampshire winner, knows how to get around the Magic Mile. And maybe, Jessica, the fact that it's a 1-mile track and a little slower than the high-speed tracks, aerodynamics won't play as big a part. Maybe he can finally figure out that new Chevy Camaro.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about, too, New Hampshire has seen 7 different winners in the last 10 races. So why is that? Why have we seen so many winners there?
Well, I think it's just a very quick race, but also the way the stages break it up, you can be aggressive, take 2 tires, maybe just left sides, get track position. We have had a variety of winners, but I think that comes to an end this weekend. When we talk about bonus picks and those bonus points, that's who I'm choosing. I'm taking Kyle Busch to continue the dominance of the big three and win this weekend at the Magic Mile.
Well, we'll see if Kyle Busch can get it done this weekend at the Magic Mile. Be sure you guys set your lineups and tune into the race. Sunday, 2 p.m. on NBCSN.